here from voice-over-training.org, and I hope you are doing well, and I hope you are staying plenty busy recording voiceovers. Got a real quick tip for you to help you with your long-form narration, to smooth it out, to minimize mistakes. As a matter of fact, I found that this technique not only helps with long-form narration, but with even commercial copy. But those of us who record a lot of long-form narration, be it in the form of audiobooks or training narration, corporate narration, we know that time is money. And so the fewer mistakes that we make and the smoother the job up front, the more profitable our business is in the end. So, there are two schools of thought. One is that while you're reading, while the script is in front of you and you're reading, you should always be looking 1 or 2 lines ahead, kind of at the same time, so that when you get to 1 or 2 lines ahead, it's not like you're reading it cold. You're already somewhat familiar with what's coming up. And then the other school of thought says, no, stay in the moment while you're reading. You'll do a better job. You'll be more effective if you focus on the words as they come to you, as you're reading, without trying to look ahead. Now, my belief is it really depends on you, the individual, what will work best for you. I have personally found for me that staying in the moment is better. When I start to look ahead is when I get into trouble. But I found something that even works even better for me than either of those two techniques, and that is simply this. That is to reduce the size of the font of the script that I'm reading. Now, first of all, I need to tell you that I do operate totally paperless and have since I began recording voiceovers over 6 years. Everything is in a Word document or a PDF on my screen. And I used to think and believe that the larger the font, the easier it would be to read. Now, granted, the larger the font, the easier it is to see the words and to read in that respect. But what I found was that if I used a larger font, and by using larger, or increase the size of the script, and when you're working with Word or a PDF, it's very easy to increase it. You can go to 110%, 120%, 130%, whatever you need to do to raise and lower the size of the font. I'm not talking about selecting the font and then going in and adjusting the font size to 12 point, 13 point, or 14 point. There's a much easier way. However, even though it was easier to see the words, what I found was that the larger the font, the more mistakes I made. But if I reduce the size of the font on the screen to the smallest I could, but yet still read it well, in other words, make it as small as I could, but still be able to read it well, it drastically reduced the number of mistakes that I made because I could see more script out of the periphery of my eye. Now, it may seem counterintuitive. You would think, well, the smaller the script, the harder it would be, the more stumbling I would do. But what I found is that it's actually just the opposite. The smaller the font, granted that you can, as long as provided you can still see the script, the easier it is to read and the fewer mistakes that you make when you read. So try that tip the next time you're reading a script. Reduce the font size as small as you can, but still be able to see it well, and see if it doesn't help you reduce the number of mistakes in your long-form narration, thereby increasing your effectiveness and your profitability in your voiceover business. Now, if you read hard copy, you have two choices. One is you can either, you can go high-tech and go all paperless, or you can simply adjust the distance of your script from you so that you can thereby reduce the size of the font and be able to see more of the script as you read. But try it, experiment with it. I'm always looking for ways to optimize my work effectiveness and the profitability of my business. So again, I hope that tip helps you. Hey, just a couple of quick things. Tomorrow night, which would be Thursday night, August the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check the date here real fast. Yep, tomorrow night would be Thursday, August the 9th. It's my monthly quick shot video broadcast. It's a live broadcast at voiceovercoachlive.com. voiceovercoachlive.com. You don't need to sign up ahead of time. It's absolutely free. And you go there at 8 o'clock Central Time. So that's 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and so on and so forth. I'll let you, calculate, your time zone. But tomorrow night it's an open forum. It's voiceover questions and answers. So if you have burning questions that you've wanted to be answered regarding whether it's performance, how to get an agent, how to increase, the money you're making as a voiceover talent, how do you market yourself, how do you keep clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tomorrow night, it's a 30-minute live broadcast. Again, absolutely free. I'll answer as many questions as I can. If you would like to get a question to me ahead of time, you can simply email that question to voiceoverexpert voiceoverexpert@gmail.com, voiceoverexpert@gmail.com. And if you're just live on the broadcast tomorrow night and you haven't emailed it, that's fine. There's a chat function where you can enter your question in the chat, and I'll get to as many of those as I possibly can. Also, just a quick note that coming up on Saturday, October 20th, put it on your calendar. It is my next live workshop. It is my voiceover playbook workshop. What is the voiceover playbook? That is my marketing plan. That is everything that I do, A to Z, to build, sustain, and grow my voiceover career and my voiceover business. That's how I started from scratch, turned it into a six-figure income, into a multiple six-figure income, and I'll show you exactly how you can do that as well if you're in one of the 8 seats. It's an 8-seat maximum. We're only taking 8 people for this workshop that I'll be holding in my studio in my learning center here just outside of Chicago, Illinois. But I would love to have you there. If you want more information on that, simply drop me an email as well at voiceoverexpert@gmail.com. Hey, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central, I'll be there, voiceovercoachlive.com. Be there with your voiceover questions. Talk to you then.